Hey, I'm Tony. Nice to meet you. That's my brother. Perfect. Yeah,
Hi, I'm Mrs. Where is it?
Okay, it's somewhere.
This is my aunt, Shuli.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the original name.
Okay, that's cool. Sorry.
Finish?
Okay.
Tu sais, on est allé aujourd'hui à un parc qui est tout au nord de la ville.
Vous avez un téléphone chelé?
Un joli parc.
Mais
Et
ça,
les deux termes des jeux étaient en remodélation.
Who else? Neil looks around. Who wants one? Okay. On behalf of Lolo and myself, we want to thank everyone for coming. We love you all very much. I've never been so excited in my entire life for anything. So just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We have little gifts that we have for everyone in the family.
Oh.
Where's the one for our family?
Ok, so Gaël, tu donnes à Alain et à Mamie Kako le cadeau. À la maman de Nada et à son papa. Là.
Je suis un diable.
So again, just thank you all for coming, and it's not a big one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Merci beaucoup.
Parece chin na reina.
Thank you very much for that.
Just a little token of our appreciation.
Just a little.
Oh, j'étais sûre. J'étais sûre. Et je
You wanna show your dad your husband? We know it.
Aux Champs-Élysées, aux Champs-Élysées, aux Champs-Élysées. Quand il est sur la nuit, à midi ou à minuit, il y a tout ce que vous voulez, aux Champs-Élysées.
dans un sous-sol avec fou. Il dit la guitare dans la main du soir au matin. Alors je vais attendre la fin de la journée. On a dansé et on a même
Et j'ai pleuré, trop
Prosit.
Mais la belle dame,
Cherchez la femme. Cherchez la femme. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Daddy cool. Daddy cool. Daddy cool.
Daddy.
Daddy cool.
לעולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, לעולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד. והעיקר לא לפחד, לא לפחד וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ספרי מרנה לחיים, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, בשבת קודשו ברא רצון התחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי יום תחילה נקרא קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת אותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך בעבר רצון התחילנו, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Alors, je connais tout.
Ah, donc c'est bon, je peux y aller.
Allez, vas-y. Ouais.
No, I had one last
Un
night.
tout petit peu de
Le
vin,
soir
ça
aussi,
fait pas mal.
Je l'ai fait et ils sont tous les trois réussis.
C'est bien, ça va.
Tu sais que, je dis une petite histoire, allez. On voit c'est ça, le Chaim, Mazal Tov, מה זה?
Comme un sourire, quelque chose dans la voix qui paraît nous dire viens, qui nous fait sentir étrangement bien. C'est comme toute l'histoire du peuple noir qui se balance entre l'amour et les espoirs, quelque chose qui danse en toi. Si tu l'as, tu l'as. piano, sur tout ce que Dieu peut te mettre entre les mains. Montre ton rire ou ton chagrin. Mais que tu n'es rien, que tu sois roi, que tu cherches encore les pouvoirs qui dorment en toi. Tu vois, ça ne s'achète pas. Quand tu l'as, tu l'as, elle a, elle a. Ce ne sais quoi que l'autre n'ont pas, qui nous met dans un drôle d'état. Elle a, 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 elle
Now is the time. We are getting started. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez prendre place, s'il vous plaît.
to all of you people who came from all around the world to be here to celebrate in our glorious event, Nadav and Laurence's wedding. So, if you came from the US to be here, make some noise!
Anyone from Europe? Any Canadians?
And if you came all the way from Tel Aviv to be here, make some noise! And the rest of Israel, anyone from the outskirts? So from the bride and groom, a very, very special thank you for coming.
Les mariés sont extrêmement touchés de votre présence.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Nir. I'm Nadav's BFF for the last 30 years or so. It's a privilege for me to be hosting. It's an honor to be doing God's work tonight. And I also had nothing better to do. So.
And my name is Julien. I've known Laurent since 1995. It's also an honor to be where we stand today. Hey, the view is pretty awesome, right? Why am I here today? Both Laurence and I had grandparents who loved a place called Le Pouliguen, and I think all I have to say is à l'accord, à l'accord, à l'accord!
Not sure what that was all about, but I like it. So without further ado, we'd like to introduce the marvelous couple standing before you, for whom you've traveled near and far, to take part in their spectacular day.
Laurence. Not sure where to start this. It's the first for both of us. Me doing a ceremony for one of my best friends and you, well, getting married. So for those who don't know well Laurence, she was born in Paris in the 80s. You didn't think I would give out her age, right? She lived mainly in the suburb of Paris until early 2000, and then London, then Paris, then London, then Paris. I'm getting lost, and I think she was also confused at some point where she was living to. Obviously, Le Pouliguen has a special place in her heart, in our hearts. Remember, à l'accord, à l'accord, à l'accord. And we try to make sure that almost each summer we spend some quality times with the group of Le Pouliguen, and sometimes still pretending we're 15 again. Our path did cross several times as we both loved this UK atmosphere, which might sound weird considering this endless Brexit story, but let's not talk politics, okay? We even have been housemates for a few weeks, early years in London. Apart from the rats in the kitchen, it was lovely. This seems to be a long time ago, but in a way, not so long, and that's what friendship is all about, being there for each other in the good and the less good moments of life. Then, Laurence decided to travel outside her comfort zone, London, Paris for. She ended up in Tel Aviv, a new chapter in her life, and what a chapter. Nadav. Yeah, it's pretty good. Nadav, I do not know you yet very well, but I trust 100% that you will take good care of Laurence. She never seemed happier and balanced, and this is thanks to you.
Nadav.
Oh, God.
Nadav was born in Israel, grew up in California. Irvine represent. He was a mischievous, adventurous, life-loving kid. Would he grow up to be a rap superstar, a famous basketball player, maybe a Nobel Prize winner, or none of the above? Some would say he was even a gifted child, but those people lack credibility. Anyways, gifted or not, my mom was his preschool teacher, and so our friendship came to be. And from the age of 4, we were inseparable. Nadav was the butthead to my Beavis, the pinky to my brain, the Count Mondango to my Monte Cristo. That's an inside joke. Neither of our narratives could have existed without the other. That is to say that I couldn't imagine my own self without him as a part of it. We traveled the world together, lived under the same roof for 5 years, built forts, broke bones, climbed mountains, experienced new marvels together. I was there for his first crush and his last. I was there for his first despite the odds performance and countless other major life failures. But we overcame those challenges together and the sadnesses together, and we thrived together, creating positives out of negatives, like in math. And we basked in our own little glories. At one point we were so inseparable that people started to question our heterosexuality. It made sense because we would introduce each other as our partners in life, soulmates. To paint the picture for the French people here, we were like wine and cheese. For you Big Daddy fans, like lamb and tuna fish. You would rarely catch us apart, real soulmates. And from the age of 4, I watched Nadav grow to be the man-child he is today. And then Laurence came into the picture and everything changed. For the better, if that wasn't.
The way they met is a miracle of modern day romance. Fate brought these two together from different worlds.
Nadav was looking for a roommate, Laurence was looking for a room. She knocked on the door, their eyes met. He chose Kyle to live with. But maybe in some subconscious way, he knew there was something there and he thought she was dope, so she told her she should hang with our crew.
So, after a few months of chilling and partying together, their friendships blossomed. Eventually, they wanted to test their compatibility as more than just platonic friends. So they started hooking up. And the rest was history. They dated, moved in together, got engaged, got married in France, and then consummated the damn thing. Now, 2 years later, they had a little thing there, you know, a little baby. They are building a home together.
For them, out of the ordinary, something extraordinary happened. The way they met is organic, natural, and it'll be a beautiful story to one day tell their children and grandchildren, who will probably be like, whatever, Grandpa.
To put it simply, their dynamics works, you know, they share common values and traits like acceptance, gratitude, warmth, kindness, and an excitement for life and desire to make the most out of it.
But they also have very different characteristics. And those differences complement each other. Like yin and yang, the balance of life is exemplified through their bond. Where one is lacking, the other is strong. When one falls, the other will lift them. When one is cold, the other will warm them. And when one is acting like a damn fool, the other is sensible. Together they create balance.
Love is a recognition of the balance between yourself and another's. Two separate beings making up one entity, one wholeness. Jacques Prévert once said, il faudrait essayer d'être heureux, ne serait-ce que pour donner l'exemple. We should try to be happy just to set an example. You guys are an example of what love should be.
And when a soul begins its journey here, it knows not its purpose, its reason for being. It wanders the universe seeking balance with no guidelines or rules, only instincts and faith to guide it. And your wandering souls came to this fishbowl we know as Earth. Incomplete, partial, looking for a connection to something better, bigger and greater. And I bear witness to your soul's journey to wholeness, to creating that balance, to finding that purpose, that reason for being.
And it's love. Love, it's love, and through love that our souls find their salvation.
To quote Viktor Frankl, I saw the truth as it is set into song by so many poets, proclaimed as the final wisdom by so many thinkers, the truth that love is the ultimate and highest goal to which man can aspire. And just in that way, the balance of your souls and the entire universe lies within the love you share. Isn't that right, Julian?
A solid marriage is built, created and maintained through the little things like holding hands, saying I love you, standing together to face the world, expressing gratitude and appreciation, having the capacity for forgiveness, creating an atmosphere to promote each other's growth, and searching for beauty and goodness wherever it can be found.
True love is a love of giving, and I hope you guys keep giving each other for all of eternity, filling each other's souls with kindness, love, and wonders. Nadav, you're my best friend and my heterosexual soulmate. I love you guys both, and I'm so happy I get to share this moment with you.
At this time, the bride and groom have prepared their personal vows, which they will share. Maintenant, les mariés vont échanger leurs vœux.
Guess whose idea these booklets were?
Not yours.
Not mine. So, can you please, for once, just be serious? Why does everything have to be a joke to you? And these might be Lo's biggest complaints against me. Ironically, it's also the reason she fell in love with me, I think. Well, that and my chiseled abs and stunning features. I'm about to get serious here for the first time in our fabled story together. So drink it in, because it's literally never going to happen again. Before I get into it, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for seeing in me my own potential to actually becoming a real man and a real human being, and helping me realize that. And it's become my life's mission to be the man that you see in me and to be deserving of that belief. My first promise is to ensure that this will never be in vain and always work to be that man for you and our family. I vow to always take care of you, love you, cherish you, recognize, don't do that, recognize the special person that you are, with all of your talents and even the beautiful flaws that make you the Lolo that I fell in love with. I promise to take care of you when you are feeling well and make you laugh when you're sad and annoy you at all times possible. And I promise to keep my live commentary when you're watching your TV shows to myself. Let me add, actually, as best I can in there, because let's face it, I can't back that up. I vow to provide us with Jachnun every Shabbat, of course. Hold you tight for the inevitable nap that ensues afterwards. And hold your hand when we get to the beach for sunset that evening. And I vow to support you in everything that your heart desires. Be the person who helps facilitate your dreams, and of course, be the one and only that puts the kettle on for our late night tea time. I vow to be the best father I can possibly be. To a little football player that's growing in your tummy, the striker for sure. I vow to be there for anything and everything you guys need so we can have the best life we can together, full of love and laughter and football, obviously. Speaking of which, I vow to control myself as best I can when watching Arsenal. Though, let's face it, it's really our defenders' fault, and if the board just concentrated on bringing in proper defensive reinforcements, maybe we wouldn't be, we'd be able to defend properly, and then we wouldn't develop a hernia every time I watch this game. As you can see, staying serious lasted about 3 seconds. Sorry, you married a man-child, and the best part is you can't get mad because you totally agreed to it, and you know exactly what you married. So, Laurence, Beatrice, Claire, Pasquier, Sevi, I love you more than any words can say. You, Petit Thierry Henry, and that beautiful little thing growing in your tum-tum are the best things that ever happened to me, and I promise to give everything to make sure you're never left wanting for anything in this life. I vow to be yours always, I love you.
Oh yes, please. Okay. It's her. Mon amour, the man who swore to annoy me for the rest of our lives, not through all eternity, thank God, just until death do us part. Curb your enthusiasm. In truth, you are the man who supports me, understands me, challenges me, completes me, betters me. The man who makes me laugh, lets me cry, lets me scream, and scream. Who completely and ever so kindly lets me be me. I want to thank you, as I am grateful every day for waking up next to you and for getting to be your wife one more day. Thank you for your patience, for your kindness, for accepting me wholly and unconditionally. You fill my heart with so much joy. I feel known, recognized, held, sheltered. Wherever we are or will be, when I'm with you, I am home. I love you, the man you are, the beliefs you hold, the values you uphold, and the person you choose to be. I could not have chosen a better husband and father for our children. So from this day, and for all the days to come, I promise to watch over your happiness, to try my hardest to make you as happy as you deserve to be, and as happy as you make me, and to be worthy of your love and attention. To keep our home and family our most precious refuge, and to let you annoy me. Because I could not think of being happy if you're not, my love.
A little bit more. We're just going to keep you guys standing. Someone brought rings, right? Did someone remember the rings? There's a ring exchange. We got the rings. Okay, we're going to do the traditional ring exchange part.
We all gathered here today to witness the unity between you two lovebirds as two hearts join into one life.
But as a formality to ensure that this is a consensual wedding in Iran, that nobody's being blackmailed into doing this, we'd like to do a formal declaration of consent. So with that, Nadav, do you promise not to annoy Laurence, even when you find the perfect opportunity to do so?
Ooh, no comment.
It's good enough. Do you promise to clean your nappy hairs from the bathroom sink after you're finished manscaping? And also to pick up your dirty clothes off the floor?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, do you promise to respect the fact that the French don't think World War II was a US victory, but rather an Allied victory?
Yes.
That's powerful. And And do you, Nadav, promise to love Laurence unconditionally with all your heart, to respect, cherish, and protect her, and to take all of life's challenges and joys as partners, equals, and best friends?
I do.
Great. Your turn now. Do you, Laurence, promise to put up with Nadav's nonsense and also put him in his place when needed?
Oh, I do.
Do you promise not to redesign your home every second week and pretend to give some choices to Nadav?
I do.
And do you promise to keep your composure and not to lose your cool when dealing with Israel bureaucracy, including Misrad Apnim and your bank?
I do.
Israelis can't do that.
Do you promise to pretend to care about the fate of Arsenal, but dear God not to succumb the pressure to name your children after any place?
I do.
Easy one. And do you, Laurence, promise to prioritize your relationship above else, to build a future together and to always remember the bond you share and the love you have today, tomorrow, and forever?
I absolutely do.
Powers vested in us by literally no one, we now pronounce you, yet again, man and wife.
one and only. We were happy that we found you, a woman who was willing to stay in Israel, living in the beautiful and crazy city of Tel Aviv, and immerse herself in Israeli culture. Very quickly, you learned the language, and singing with us during Shabbat dinner, blessings. It is also because of you that Nadav has finally grew up, left his Peter Pan life, and became a responsible man. Also, when we met your family, we knew that everything would be good. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Carol, Alan, Manon, Marissa, Chloe, and Gael, Claire and Guy for being so warm and open. It definitely made it so easy to connect.
Song to you!
Nadav's growing up was a challenge and also lots of fun. As I mentioned before, we had Peter Pan in our home, never wanting to grow up. Looking at you now just brings us so much pride and so much happiness. We cannot continue this evening without mentioning Savta Tzipi and Savta Nina. I'm sure their spirit is here with us. I want to thank Yossi for being such a wonderful father and a wonderful husband. I want to thank Saba Dario and Shuli for their love and support. Where is she? We love you very much. Noah and Tani for your endless love and the mentors that you are. I also would like to thank Yossi and Ivy for the wonderful Shabbat dinner yesterday and the wonderful friendship and love our families share. I want to wish the young couple lots of happiness, health and joy. Knowing Nadav, I know your life will be filled with good surprises, laughs and adventures. I love you both.
Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir. Bonsoir. You like that? Yeah. I'm Tani. I'm Nadav's little brother. Nadav and Lolo's little brother now. You know, I heard someone say once that the best way to live is to die young, as late as possible. Nadav is no exception to this. Nadav was not the greatest role model growing up. You see, for a while, there could be no more distant polar opposites than Nadav and Tani. He was the north, I the south. He played sports, I played with my Barbie dolls. He had friends, I played with my Barbie dolls. I had a lot. A couple Ken dolls, a couple Barbies, yeah. But something incredible happened, and for one reason or another, Nadav and I started to get close. It happened slowly with phone calls while he was at college, an overnight stay at his apartment, and after he moved to Israel, an actual longing for the big brother that I finally found. You see, when he moved to Israel to begin the journey that leads us to this exact location today, I moved to New York City. That year was to say very eye-opening, and Nadav was there for me the entire ride. He was always the one I reached out to first for advice on partying, romance, the confusion of dating, or just sharing a laugh about how strange life is. I finally understood that Peter Pan over here was the role model that I always needed and belatedly received. You were probably the first person to ever know who I truly was. And more importantly, you were the first person to accept the person who I truly was. You became a role model, but more importantly, you became my best friend. For your eternal love and acceptance, I will always be indebted to the guidance and strength you provided me in the most confusing and trying of times. And I have become so extremely proud of the man you have become. All those qualities mentioned by other people prior tonight exist no longer. You have become a man rich with maturity and a side of humor that grants our family ease even during the hardest of times. Nadav, I am so proud of who you are as a brother, friend, and a human being. And that is where I end talking about Nadav, because Nadav is no longer just Nadav, but Nadav and Laurence. Lolo, my dear, in the short time that I've known you, I have witnessed the beautiful support that you have for my brother. You have molded him with your patience and empathy, your wit and keen eye, and have created a perfect yet organic union. I look forward to our many years together as brother and sister-in-law, but more importantly as members of, well, a rapidly expanding and beautiful family. I have such great confidence in the two of you as a singular entity because for the last small number of years, all of our expectations have far exceeded what we awaited to come to fruition. And thus, I look forward to the many years to come full of memories, perhaps some screaming here and there, who knows? Full of laughter and love, health, passion, and most importantly, love and unity. Mazal tov. I love you.
Cheerleader, she is always right there when I need her. Like I'm not done. She grants my wishes like a genie in a bottle. Yeah. Ella se esconde en verdad, tiene ganas de bailar. No le importa que la mire, está loca conmigo. La miro sin parar, ya no puedo disimular. Tiene todo lo que a mí me gusta, esa cara, ese pelo me tiene mal y no quiero irme sin llevarme, sin importarme lo que piensen o lo que digan. You got me, dime como tú lo haces, what you nobody got moving like you do it. I think that I found myself a cheerleader. She is always right there when I need her. I think that I found myself a cheerleader. She is always right there when I need her. I wanna see the morning light, but I need you by my side. Girl, you make me feel so right. When I'm with you, I'm alive. When I'm with you, I'm alive. Ooh, she gives me love and affection. Baby, like passion. You're the only girl for me tonight. I need her next time. When I love you too, she thinks I made the right selection. All that's left to do is just hold her to her. I think that I found myself a cheerleader. She is always right there when I
και αστέρια να μας χαρίζεις. Μια που κι αψαμί για μας τα ορφανά περιστέρια μας καλανίζεις. Μάσε δυο βοριάς, μας
in the star. Yeah, I miss you up on the moon. Oh, you are my heart lost in the star. Oh my down. Yeah.
So